I think a really important point here is that most fear comes from an aspect of something that is unknown. Some aspect of whatever is causing your fear is there's something that is unknown. Now, they didn't know if they should be afraid of whatever was coming, but it was unknown. So their first default was to be afraid. Maybe it was somebody good. It was somebody good. It was Yeshua coming. But they didn't know. So our brains, by the way, tend to do this. We tend to jump to the most fearful or fear-creating conclusion of whatever's going to go on without enough information to know what's going on. So we fill in those unknowns with usually not positive things, but negative things that will scare us. Let's not do that, okay? Nothing wrong with having a proper reaction of concern to a reality of a situation, okay? But when it's unknown, why do we have to always go to the worst scenario? And when he saw the wind was strong, he was afraid. Now, this is a man who's walking on water. All of a sudden, he's afraid of the wind. But that's how dumb we are at times. I mean, I'm not trying to insult Peter here. I'm just saying, we have all the stuff that is happening that clearly is miraculous and all kinds of things to give us encouragement, and then we see something and we start to panic. Forgetting that we're already, some of you do that now in your walk. You came out of whatever life you were in, you came out of whatever lifestyle you were in, you came out of whatever dumb thing you were in. Now you've been doing this walk, your life is incredibly better in most ways. Not always, most ways. But then one aspect of your life starts blowing its wind at you, and you forget that you're already a walking miracle. And you start to panic. Because look what he says to Peter at the end. He says, "Oh, you of little trust, little belief, little faith, why did you doubt?" Why did he doubt? Because he hadn't fully embraced who he was dealing with and how that was supposed to manifest in his life. See, some people think they fully embrace who and what he is, but you're not fully embracing what that actually means to you, how that should be impacting your walk, your life, your journey. And then you make a lot of decisions out of fear and doubt instead of out of trust and belief, and things don't work, and you wonder why it's not working. I mean, do you trust him enough to obey him? And then in obeying, do you trust him enough that you trust that the obedience is going to lead to blessing and other good things? He took it to a deeper level. In the first situation, he was in the boat with them physically. In the second situation, he sent them in the boat. And you have to realize he's not sending you to do things that are going to kill you. He's not sending you to do things you cannot do. So they failed in the next level of it, which is, well, he's not with us, so maybe we are dying. No, he sent us here, so we're not dying. He didn't send us out here to drown. This goes back to like Egypt. Every time they came out of Egypt, well, not every time, when they came out of Egypt, every time they got afraid of this, afraid of that, or whatever, they said, "Oh, did you send us out here to die?" No, these guys were aware of those stories too. He said, "I sent you out there to live, not to die." And to the apostles, like, look, I'm not done with you. I got jobs for you guys. I got tasks for you guys to do. In other words, you were not called to have an intrinsic nature, a fear nature. He said you were called to have a sound mind. Now notice how he didn't say you weren't called to the spirit of fear, you were called to the spirit of something else. To battle the spirit of fear, he said you need to use your mind. Oh, backs up everything I've been telling you, hasn't it, for years? How the mind has to be the stronger one over the emotions. The fear is down here, it's an emotion, okay? Up here, you recognize something may go badly, or something already has gone badly. Your response to it, though, before the logical brain can decide what to do with it, the emotion just flies out, flipping out, and now you're frozen and can't do anything. Because the emotion just jumped out front, all right? Because if I ever got fired, my first thought is, okay, maybe for a half a second, deal with it emotionally. My first thought is, okay, what am I going to do now? Some of you men don't understand. You wanted to get married. First of all, you didn't understand to go out and get the job and make the money before you got married. Then you get married, you understand your responsibility to provide and protect that woman. And you still want to run around like you're single, doing all the things, hanging out with you guys, whatever. And the ladies, you do the same thing. When your status changes, you must change in accordance with the status change. Your status was supposed to change from world to covenant. But the only reason you do or don't do that is your level of belief and trust in him and how much you know him and how well you know him. That's why that teaching is so important. Do you trust him enough? Which really means, do you know him well enough to obey him? He's with you. And then he's going to ask you to do certain things or send you to do certain things, like he sent them out on the boat. And guess what? It may get a little rough, but he sent you. Why don't you trust who sent you? Israel didn't trust that when they came out of Egypt, but they didn't know him yet. You know what you're showing when you don't trust him? You really don't know him yet. You still only know him in part. Looking through that glass dimly, etc., right? You just still don't know him. You know about him. You have some ideas, like it's a little more than just knowing about him, but deep, deep down, do you really know him? And not only know him, but do you understand what he wants for you? Some of you are like, I wish he would just tell me what he wants for me. He wants you to trust him. He wants you to do everything you can with all your might and strength that he puts you on a path to do. I'm going to say something. If I'm wrong, he can strike me down, okay? I'm saying this out of my mouth, but I believe it's his words, okay? I believe, well, not his words, I think it's the way he feels. I believe that he really is impressed with and appreciates a person who every moment in all that they're doing is vertically aware, way more than the person who sits at home and studies all day and reads their Bible and gets on their knees all the time whining, okay? The person who never picks up the book, listens to a teaching here or there, shows up at services, but is always trying to be vertically aware. Well, what am I doing? Am I pleasing him? Is he looking down going, hey, I'm proud of you, good job, good job. You know, that's, I think, much more impressive to him. There's a whole segment of the Orthodox Jews that think that the government should pay them so they don't have to work because they need to be studying all day and studying all day. That only makes you tired. That's like this guy here, he's lazy. He's not thinking about what he needs to do next. If you have a job that doesn't really work well with Saturday, it's having Saturday off, why are you not immediately planning to get a different job? If your job won't let you take off for feast, why are you not immediately looking for a different job? Oh, but I'm afraid I won't be able to find, stop whining, okay? Anybody remember A League of Their Own, right? There's no crying in baseball. There's no whining in the kingdom, okay? He calls whining witchcraft, all right? Whining is like under witchcraft. Actually, whining is like on the ground opening up and killing you. You whine and whine and whine. Why do you not think you have little belief? You can't believe that you can actually fix this problem? You can't believe he can fix this problem by as you go looking, help you find something? I really believe Abba's got some incredible things he's going to put on your plate, your task list in the kingdom. But he's not going to do that if he can't trust you to do it and handle it. I mean, he may give you a solar system to play with, or a planet, or who knows, he may give you anything. But he's only going to do it if he can trust you with it. You guys aren't trustworthy with the little nonsense we got now here in the world. This is a life to demonstrate our trustworthiness. Okay? So we think all this well done, good and trustworthy service is like some minor little thing. No, it's your whole life. Okay? Through and through, skin to bone, everything. Can you walk this out with enough integrity to be trustworthy?